Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is Avakar Kauri, and today we will discuss a resignation by the one of the vice presidents of India, Mr. Jagdeep Dhankhar, and how it is basically jolted the very rule of Prime Minister Modi and BJP and RSS. If you look at the background, the monsoon session of Parliament has started. This is the most important session because I think it starts closer to uh, July, August, and then it goes on for 3 months, and major decisions are discussed, major issues are discussed, and somehow supposed to be a very, very crucial parliament session. And Vice President, because of his position, is also supposed to head the Rajya Sabha or the Senate, and a Vice President resigning at this time is, I think, raising more questions than answers. There is a huge debate going on in Indian media. And I was looking at Shiva Root saying that these positions of vice presidents are not required, and these are, basically causing a lot of expenditure and load on the X sector, and these should be demolished. I would say why not, Prime Minister's office, because the moment monsoon session started, Mr. Modi booked a flight to London and landed up there, and now the Godi media saying he's got a, a red carpet reception and all that. And probably he's going to go to Tanzania after that. Anyways, coming to the moot point of today's discourse is the resignation of Indian Vice President. And if you look at profile of Jagdeep Dhankhar, he was one of the top loyalists of Modi. Even it is heard that the speeches in the parliament were written by basically Modi's office. And he's been governor also, appointed by the BJP, but his rise to vice presidentship was again, he was nominated vice president by the BJP, and he protected the interests of the party in the parliament. We have seen hot debates with Congress leaders or other opposition leaders. Why suddenly he stepped down? So there are a couple of reasons that are being discussed. One is that, as per Godi media, he was getting very close to the opposition. If you look at the office of the president or vice president, they're supposed to remain neutral, although they are appointed by the party. But definitely, when you're heading Rajya Sabha or the Senate, you're supposed to at least play neutral in discussion because you have to basically then do justice. So this argument that he was becoming a kind of pawn of Congress and all that, I think BS. The other, I think, reason is that he was being undermined to such an extent that he got fed up. The media saying that he was basically, if he had not resigned, it was done on the gunpoint. He would have impeached through Rajya Sabha. And now we have seen the post that he's been told to vacate his residence within 12 hours and his office. So it's very, very absurd. He's not been, I think, even given, I would say, a tea out. What to talk of dining out, not even a tea out, because Modi left for London immediately. Now, I would say that these are the aftershocks of Operation Banyan al-Marsus, which Pakistan launched as a reply to Operation Sindhu. And there's this Operation Banyan al-Marsus has damaged India to an extent. And we've been predicting it, I think, in our earlier discussions on the mainstream media, English and Urdu, and also on social media, that whatever was desired by RSS and BJP through Operation Sindhu basically was a regime change operation in Pakistan to undermine the political leadership, creating so much chaos that they thought, political opposition would rise against them and the press organization in Pakistan that would break. And we have seen how Godi media conducted itself. I've been going on programs of Arnab Goswami recently, and I've seen that these guys are literally irreparable. They live in a cuckoo land and they basically have their own logic bubble. So, right from Al Baruni, I think they identified rightly that we cannot discuss things with them. We can just enjoy it as a comedy show. But, anyways, I would say that there are now calls for resignation of Modi now coming from RSS, and there is also talk of clash between RSS and BJP Whereas BJP is basically the son of RSS, Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh, which is basically the head honcho of Hindutva. But they are fed up with Modi's performance because they were not able to deliver as far as Pakistan is concerned. So we had call from Subramaniam Swamy, which has been a BJP stalwart. He still exists, but definitely he's a major member of the RSS. He has repeatedly said because of Modi's poor performance on economy and now in Operation Sindoor that he should resign. Then we had RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat, who himself I think going to, or is already 75, and he I think passed two remarks. One was before this resignation of Jagdeep Dhankhar that when somebody after 75 years of age, gives you a shawl, basically चादर कोई उड़ाता है तो you should actually then start looking at retirement. So he was hinting at, and I think there is a kind of understanding within BJP and RSS that no public office should be given to anybody above 75. There is a reason, and Modi has used this formula to oust, you remember the BJP stalwarts who were challenging him, Al Kadwani, and later on a number of them. Uh, Even I think Yashwant Sinha was also victim of this 75 year formula. And they feel that after 75, people should be arrested. Modi is going to be 75 next month, in September, or maybe 1.5. So why people are now reminding, and I think RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat correctly pointed out that it's time for him to resign. And then the recent message after Jagdeep Dhankhar resigned was that there's a lot of bhai in India. Bhai, you understand, is fear. And he actually said that we are not safe in our houses. So what is he pointing out? Overall law and order situation or India's confrontation with Pakistan, where Pakistan military smashed them and they don't feel safe with $85 billion of military budget. He also said that badi machli choti machli ko kha jati hai. Was he pointing at internal forces, political forces, that big fish eats the smaller fish? Probably looking at Modi and Adani and Ambani, the way they formed a conglomerate of corporate India and political India to eat the smaller fish, or hinting at why Jagdeep Dhankhar was sacked. And then, of course, there are calls from the opposition or the Vipaksha, as we say in India. They now wanted to discuss Operation Sindoor in detail. You've seen, debate going on Godi media. They daily try to deflect it. They're now trying to remind, at time we also go there in the programs that what they did with the Brahmo system. After 2 months, such and such report has now come up, etc. I always say that जो मुक्का आपको लड़ाई के बाद याद है उसको अपने मुंह पे ही मार लेना चाहिए. So the point that you actually try to identify, you should have long during war, in case you remember it or identify it after war, you should punch yourself. So this is the kind of, I think. Then we have social media. Some of the, I think, Indian social media channels are quite vibrant, like Deepak Sharma or Neelu Vyas. They keep pointing out, and they have raised the question that why Modi is run away to London, not sit in the most important, basically session of Parliament, that is monsoon session. So all told, I think it's time for popcorn in Pakistan. And I'll again, I think, remind the Indian political class that get rid of this, I would say quad of chavals. So I have coined the name Char Chavalon ki Chaval Chowkadi. So one is of course Rajnath Singh. Then you have Amit Shah, Ajit Doval, and Pada Likha Jahil Jaishankar. So these four, and of course the head honcho is Modi himself. There is no need actually to who could advise the Air Force that there are clouds and radar not able to see them. So they should get, and it's going to happen. People are now looking at September, that most probably there's going to be pressure and Modi has to quit. Let's see how Indian politics plays. Interesting time. Thank you very much.